So my presentation is the experiment on security features of multi-provider mobile network infrastructure. I am Jordi Mongay from Warsaw University of Technology. Sorry, can go ahead while. No. So our project was a collaboration between our University of Warsaw and the Embry-Riddle Aeronautical University in Florida in the US. We together did a project for the security assurance, so how to provide some assurance that a system, an ICT system, is secure. This is the matter of the project. We realized that the approach to security is very close in the US and in Europe, but the approach to security assurance, so it's very different for us than in the US, and this is one of the most important conclusions for us, that we do not, so in the US, it is the demonstration that a system, and as ICT system is secure, is much more based on threats, on the threats of the potential threats, and to avoid, to defend, to protect from these threats. And in the EU, in Europe, the approach is much more based on the risks. So which is the potential impact of the attack, so that you have to defend the system from these attacks based on the potential impact. So based on the expected use of the ICT system, and this, which perhaps does not sound so important in ICT systems that are shared for different infrastructures, is crucial. So, for example, for mobile networks, that should be the base, the infrastructure of many applications, ICT system, I don't know, autonomous cars, drones, and so on and so on. So then the point is, which is the expected use of the mobile network then. If the mobile network is only for phone calls, so perhaps the security level that the ICT system needs to provide is lower than in the case that the mobile network is used for autonomous cars or drones or other critical applications. So this is the context. We did an experiment to provide to show how the network, the mobile network, 5G infrastructure could prove the security level based on multi-vendor infrastructure. That means that there is not only one provider that provides the network, the hardware, the cloud, and all of them, but there are several vendors, several providers that provides different parts of the network. So the cloud provider, the network provider that is only the software, the virtualization infrastructure provider that provides the virtualization level, and so on. So at this moment, the level of security that all of them needs to show, to demonstrate, should be similar, because if not, if the network is very strong from the point of view of security, but the virtualization platform is not, so then the application, the expected use, I don't know, of autonomous cars will be much less secure than expected. Okay, so the idea is, can we provide a baseline of security, a security baseline for a multi-provider infrastructure? This is not so clear. It was much more clear in 4G because one provider provided all the infrastructure. But from 5G, this is not so clear. And this was the the objective of our experiment. Okay, we did this experiment. We evaluated the security in multi-vendor infrastructure, in 5G infrastructure. So the conclusions of the project, the most important is this one, that the approach in Europe and in the US is different for security assurance. Another one, it is possible to show a baseline for multi-provider, but this means that all the infrastructure should be tested in a similar way, which does not exist at this moment. There is not a clear procedure for evaluating the network equipment, the virtualization platform, the cloud provider, and so on. Okay, it is possible, it is not done. The current approach to security assurance in mobile networks, in 5G, is done by the NESAS process, but NESAS is specially adapted to the case of one provider. Okay, so from the beginning to the end of the network life cycle, it is one provider that implements, that thinks the product, implements the product, develops the product, configures the product, and updates the product. Okay, so in this case, this is called normally security by design, and all the procedure from the beginning to the end is quite good to ensure that this product is secure. But in the case of multi-vendor infrastructure, this is not possible because the approach is different for different vendors. In our experiments, we showed that at different levels of security assurance, so different levels of security assurance means that the tests are different. In a lower level, perhaps the unit tests done for evaluating the security is about checking whether this infrastructure is compliant with the standards, with the security standards. And in a more advanced, in a higher level of security assurance, perhaps there are different pen tests, penetration tests to break the security of the system. So these are the different levels of security assurance. And we showed that the infrastructure we had at the network level, so the network functions, the 5G network functions, our products were quite hard from the point of view of security at different levels. So from a basic level to a even penetration test that we performed. However, the virtualization platform, not so much. The virtualization platform showed a different, at least at higher level, penetration test, showed some vulnerabilities in the virtualization platform we had. So the conclusions in our project was as well that the verticals of the applications that are used in the network, for example, drones or autonomous cars, needs to provide an end-to-end methodology for testing the cloud, for example, and the network functions, for example. So it needs to be the same procedure for demonstrating the security of the systems. And this last conclusion, this is quite a hard work to do for educating generation of engineers that see the problem of security assurance, especially, and to understand how this approach to security assurance should be combined with the threats and the risks. So the threats are the potential problems, and the risk, which is the potential impact of the attacks. Yeah, these are our conclusions and the content of the project. in general, I have to say that it was very interesting, as well the cooperation with the US University, with Embry Riddle. And we are trying to continue these cooperations with future initiatives, as we are now preparing as well another project to continue this work that is at the beginning, we can say. 10 minutes. I don't know if there is any question.
Also from the public, if someone want to say something or have a question, we have a microphone, we can come to you and. Or from Jim, Deep.
Yeah, I mean, thank you again for the presentation. I guess as we asked the previous speaker, I'd like to know about the challenges about working on the US-EU, international collaboration. Could you share? I mean, that would be useful. I did hear you saying that the focus of the threat model versus the, the potential impact. That was a very interesting input on it. But other than that, do you have other things that you want to share? Thank you.
Yeah, so the collaboration was smooth, quite smooth. We were there as well to do a course together about security assurance, and this was a good moment to understand which is the different approaches and so on. In general, okay, I agree that so for sure it depends on the experiment you do, but for sure more time would be needed. I agree with the previous speaker that more time would be needed for the experiment, as well as, for example, for dissemination tasks, for publication, and so on. These very strict margins of time are not good. Yeah, but in general, I have to say that it's a good. I think it's a good approach to increase the collaboration, because we have a lot of projects for collaboration in the European Union, but not with the United States. So I think it's in general it's a very good approach to increase this.